Hello grade 8 learners! Hope you're doing well. In this video, we are going to review some of the skills you've taken in grade 7. First, we need to review how to reduce a fraction and then how to perform operations on fractions. Operations like addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. At the beginning, do you remember what is meant by a prime number?
A prime number is the number that has only two divisors, 1 and itself.
Good. Can you list now the first 10 prime numbers?
Yes, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29.
Good. Now, what is meant by a prime factorization method?
A prime factorization method is the method used to decompose the given number into product of primes.
Very good. So, a prime factorization method works like this mincing machine. If you have number 12 there, it will be decomposed into 2, 2, and 3, where 2 and 3 are primes. So, we can say 12 equal 2 times 2 times 3, and this is a product of primes. Now, let's have a revision of some of the divisibility rules. How can we tell that a number is divisible by 2, by 3, and 5?
A number is divisible by 2 if its last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Example 12, 24, 50, and 236.
Good. And when do we say that a number is divisible by 3?
A number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Example 18, 27, 153. And a number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. Example 20, 145.
Now, let's try to do this exercise together. Decompose the following numbers into product of primes using the prime factorization method.
18 is divisible by 2, we get 9. 9 is divisible by 3, we get 3. And we know that 3 is a prime number, so divide by 3, we get 1. So 18 equal 2 times 3 times 3, and this is a product of primes. Now 98 is divisible by 2, we get 49. 49 is not divisible by 2, 3, and 5. So we try 7, we get 7. And 7 is a prime number, so divide over 7, we get 1. So 98 equal to 2 times 7 times 7.
Good. Now, let's recall together the steps of reducing a fraction. In order to reduce a fraction, we need first to write the prime factorization of the numerator and denominator. Second, we need to remove the common prime numbers from the numerator and denominator. Now, example 1. Reduce the following fractions. 12 over 18.
To reduce this fraction, we do the two steps. The first step is to write the prime factorization of 12 and 18. 12 over 2 we get 6, over 2 we get 3, over 3 we get 1. So 12 equal 2 times 2 times 3. For 18, over 2 we get 9, over 3 we get 3, over 3 we get 1. So 18 equal 2 times 3 times 3. Now, step number 2, we have to remove the common prime numbers in the numerator and the denominator. Here 2, 2, 2 goes with 2. 3 and here 3, 3 goes with 3, and we get the final fraction 2 over 3. And this fraction is called an irreducible fraction.
Now, example 2. 45 over 75.
Here we do the same steps. The prime factorization of 45 is 3 times 3 times 5. And for 75 is 3 times 5 times 5. Now step number 2. 3 goes with 3, 5 goes with 5, and the final answer will be 3 over 5, and this fraction is an irreducible fraction.
Very good. Here, we should note that there is another way of reducing a fraction using the greatest common divisor. And it's worth mentioning that sometimes the question requires that you reduce a fraction using the greatest common divisor. So, how to do so?
To reduce this fraction using the greatest common divisor, we need to find the greatest common divisor of 450 and 108. First, we write the prime factorization of 450 and 108. 450 equals 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. 108 equals 2, 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. To find the greatest common divisor between 450 and 108, we take the common. Here 2, and here 3, and here 3, and the final answer will be 18. Now we have to divide the numerator and the denominator by 18. 450 over 18 is 25. 108 over 18 is 6. And 25 over 6 is an irreducible fraction. And now we have learned how to reduce a fraction using greatest common divisor.
Now, we move to the second part of this lesson, which is to talk about how to perform operations on fractions. Before we do so, what do you mean by like fractions?
Like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator.
Good. And what is meant by unlike fractions?
Unlike fractions are fractions that have different denominator.
Good. Now, how to add or subtract like fractions? A over b plus c over b equals to?
To add like fractions, we keep the denominator the same and we add the numerators. For example, 4 over 5 plus 2 over 5. Here we keep the denominator 5 and we add the numerators 4 plus 2 equals to 6. Another example, 5 over 3 minus 4 over 3. Here we keep the denominator 3 and we subtract 5 minus 4 equals to 1.
Good. Now, how to add or subtract unlike fractions?
To add unlike fractions, we should first change them to like fractions. We multiply the numerator and the denominator of the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction, which is 3. And we do the same step for the second fraction. We multiply by 5. Then we get 9 over 15 plus 10 over 15. And now we get like fractions, so we can add them. And we get 19 over 15. But keep in mind that you have to reduce the final fraction until it gets an irreducible fraction. But here we have an 19 over 15 is an irreducible fraction.
Good. Now, exercise 2, how to subtract unlike fractions.
To subtract unlike fractions, we should make them like fractions. But we notice that 8 is a multiple of 4, so we multiply the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction by 2. So we get 7 over 8 minus 2 over 8. And now we have like fractions. So we keep the same denominator 8 and we subtract 7 minus 2 equals to 5.
Good. Now, how to multiply fractions?
We multiply the numerators by each other, we get A times C. And we multiply the denominators by each other, we get B times D. For example, 3 over 4 times 5 over 6. We multiply 3 times 5, we get 15. 4 times 6 equal to 24. But we have to reduce this fraction. 15 is 3 times 5 and 24 equals to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 3 goes with 3 and the final answer will be 5 over 8, which is an irreducible fraction.
Very good. Now let's talk about the division of fractions. First, have a look at this funny picture and try to deduce the rule of the division of fractions. What did you notice? If we have a over b divided by c over d, we keep the first fraction as it is, a over b, we change the division sign into a product sign, and we switch the second fraction into d over c. Now let's try to do this example about the division of fractions. 5 over 2 divided by 3 over 7.
To divide these two fractions, we keep 5 over 2 as it is, and we change the division sign into multiplication, and we switch the second fraction to become 7 over 3. And now we multiply. 5 times 7 equals to 35, 2 times 3 equals to 6. And this fraction is an irreducible fraction.
And that's it. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye bye.